Hey guys, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you guys are. I hope you're having a great day. Today we're going to be back and doing a build stream for the first time in a couple of weeks. So I apologize I wasn't here last week, guys. Really sorry, but I prepped to do this build that we're going to do today, and then the board didn't turn up. So I didn't have anything else ready to build last week. So we took a week off, and here we are again this week. Let's just do shout outs. So Taco Sausage got first, saying hi. So hello. Damage Point, thank you very much for the 17 months of subscriptions. We've also got Z Lobby and Huey here as well. Huey also subscribed for 13 months. Thank you very much, guys. Really appreciate that. We've also got Sata and Rabbit Sensei and Karcher here. Karcher also subscribes for 15 months and says, good evening all. So good evening to everyone in chat today from Karcher. So there you go, guys. Sata also subscribed with Twitch Prime, so thank you very much for that. And Jono Warren also subscribed with Prime, so thank you very much for that, Jono. He says, yeah, he finally managed to catch another one. Well, we've been a bit hit and miss with the streams lately. Well, I certainly have anyway for Top Clack. Build streams have come few and far between whilst I've been busy IRL. Crash is here as well saying hey, and Tomasi is here as well saying hi chat. Poncho Frido says something to replace The Office whilst I lube switches. Nothing wrong with watching The Office, man, as long as it's the British version, because I didn't really like the American version, but the British version is good. Undercover Brother, he subscribes for 12 months, currently on a 12-month streak. Dude, thank you so much. That was a really crappy heart. There we go, that's better. Oxy's here as well saying evening. We've also got Joe Handcrafted Cables saying what's up, guys. I hope everyone is having a good weekend. It's very much the end of the weekend though now. It's Monday tomorrow. It's just gone 8 PM here, so it's very much the end of the weekend. Crash, thank you very much for the 8 months of subs, and Poncho Frido, thank you for gifting a tier 1 sub to Magic as well. What else are we talking about in chat? Muzuride says, hey Jay, hey man, good to see you. Rabbit Sensei says, good beard. It's getting there, man. It's getting bigger and bushier by the week. Carbonator says good evening as well, and Oxy also says beard looking mighty thick. Thanks guys, I appreciate that. Jack Static, thank you very much dude for 17 months of subs. Thank you dude, appreciate those. R&R man makes everything better. Absolutely, it sure does. Professor Cattington's here as well as Andy the Greatest. Rust is here as well. Pseudo Llama, Hype Train. So I think that's Brian here on the Top Click account as well. So good evening, Brian. Enemy's Friend, Jendal, Socialite, Zapri, everyone. Thank you very much for joining. Grundlemere as well. Hey Bubba, hey man, good to see you, dude. Glad to see your IC went up the other day as well. Beard Plats when? Man, I probably could now. Like it's like 3 inches long, well 2 inches long. I probably could get a small plat in there maybe. Got a bit of a weird request for you. Can you move the JO2 group buy channel on your Discord next to the JO1 one? Is it not? Is it not next to it? There you go. Consider that fixed, Enemy's Friend. Consider that fixed. How much do you want for the Virgo? $1 million. Thank you very much, good sir. That's what I will take for it. I'm not here to support. I'm here to support you, but not Eva. Well, you're just wrong, good sir. You're just wrong. Glad to see you back. Hope you take more vacations. Yeah, I just needed some time to chill out and rest, but I'm here. I'm here to support Eva and not Rust. Thank you, Hugh. Thank you for the support, there, man. Need a stream for your media ROM conversion from IG2. Yeah, probably at some point. Man, so many projects. Acidic Pure says, damn, there's the handsome man. Where? Is he behind me? I don't know what you mean. Okay, so I think we've caught up with chat. Let's talk about the build today. So today we're going to be building the Eva Gen 2. We're going to be building with ultramarine stabs and some switches, which I'll talk about in a second, because I don't think anyone's going to guess the trick behind these switches, what I've done to these switches to make them special. Until I tell you, I think no one will guess. So we'll talk about those in a few minutes, and then we're going to unbox the Canoe Gen 2 itself. That's all of the PCB and support materials, and then this is the actual board as well. So in this box here. So that's what we're going to build on stream today. As well as that, we're also going to take a look at a couple of key sets. I'm going to have a look at Nautilus Nightmares, because I know that a lot of people have been concerned about it and the color and everything else. I haven't unsealed it, but I have seen some of the keys because I've got some of the expansion packs for it. And I also want to take a look at GMK Froyo as well, which came in last week. So 2 sets that I really want to talk about. Let's see if we can catch up with chat, see what you guys are talking about. MX lock switches and all keys. Andy, no, but it would be a good idea. Springs are different progressive. No, the springs are just stock springs. I'll talk about them in a second. Razor stems. No. You can kind of see in the little screen here. You can kind of see. You might be able to guess what they are from there. They're not mechanistic switches. No. We'll talk about them in a minute though. Ooh, very nice. Thank you very much, Scott. Thank you very much for the subscription. Really appreciate that, dude. Derek says, did your poly kit arrive with the canoe? No, I actually ordered my poly kit and my canoe separately, purely so that I didn't have to wait if one was delayed for the other one. So I purposefully bought them separate. The poly kit hasn't shipped. This is just the aluminium parts here. So we'll talk about that. It's not the mechanistic switches, but they are doing some. So you should take a look at that, because they're going to be pretty nice. I think they look great anyway, the color wise. But no, that's not what I'm going to be using today. Scott Water, thank you very much for that subscription. He says good afternoon stroke evening. Yeah, 8:10 here at PM, so it's very much well into the evening, maybe early night. See, Huey's very close, but there's still something he's missing. We'll talk about it in a second though. Polyprate is still in production. Is that for the Canoe Gen 2 poly parts, Rabbit? Is that what that's for? I haven't seen any updates on there, but that's kind of what I was led to believe, that some parts still needed to be finished and some need to be made, and we'll be waiting a little bit of time for it. So I'm happy to do that. You know, it'll take away from the EVA colorway, putting the polycarb parts in there anyway, so it's more just to try it out.
Very nice.
Carbonator, thank you very, very much for the subscription there for 2 months now. It says update on GMK Bleached. It's in manufacturing, but this isn't about. If you want an update about the group buys, go check the updates page on Prototypist. Don't ask me on the Top Rack streams. A real big boss, thank you very much for the tier 1 sub. But yeah, GMK Bleached is in manufacturing right now, and it's still due to ship in November. So fingers crossed we'll get it this year. Okay, let's flip over to the other camera now, and let's see if you guys can guess what we've done with these switches. I don't think you will, and I'm not going to tell you until the end of the stream what's different about these, and we'll see if you can guess. So let's flip over to the other camera now. Jay's beard is getting to Ron Swannon. I think you mean Ron Swanson level. Maybe. So these are the switches. I'll tell you what the parts are. But I don't think you guys will be able to tell what's special about these switches until I tell you. So, Gateron Milky Tops, H1 base, H1 stem, and 78 grams Sprit Springs. That's what we've got there, right? That's what we've got here. The top is where the difference is, and I'll see if you guys can guess before the end of the stream. See if you can guess before the end of the stream what the difference is here. Flexman, thank you very much for the 13 months of subs. Thank you, dude. I appreciate those subs. Thank you, dude. 13 months. That's awesome. So it's because you said Gateron Milky Tops, Rabbit Sensei. That's the clue. That's the clue. That's what you said, but there's something different here. See if you guys can guess. You've got until I tell you guys at the end of the stream. These are not dyed. These are factory, but there's something you're missing about them. I've not dyed them. I've not sandblasted them, but there's something different about them that you're not getting, that no one's been able to guess yet. No, they are Gateron tops. They say Gateron on them. You might be able to see it if it focuses. They say Gateron on top of them. They are Gateron Milky Tops, but there's something different about them. They're not flavored, they're not clipped, they're not changed. These are factory tops. I have not done anything to these. These are factory tops. It doesn't smell different. I've not filmed the sides. It's not vintage tops. I have had these a while, but I haven't used them, but it's not vintage tops. So Flex, what we're trying to do is I'm trying to get everyone to see if they can guess what's different about these switches. So these switches are a H1 base. They are a H1 stem, 78 gram Sprit Springs, and as you can see, they are Gateron Milky Tops, but there is something different about these. There is something different about them. Now the tops are stock, but no one's been able to guess what the difference is on these ones. And I'll give you a really big clue. It makes them EVA themed. Let's see if anyone gets it from there. Okay, so Yak Bats, he's on something. Let me see if I can show you. So I think he's got it right now. Let me see if this is going to work if I turn the lights off. If not, I have a picture I can show you guys. These are the glow-in-the-dark GAT glow tops. That's it. So let's turn off the stream lights and see if they'll glow. Okay, so that's pretty poor because there's still plenty of light in here, but you can see that they do glow. Let me show you a picture of what they actually look like when they glow in. Hold on. Give me 1 second, guys. So this is taken in my office, in the dark, with no LEDs. And that's how they glow. That's what these look like in the dark. So these are going to look very much like the Eva colorway. They're going to glow in the dark green. So the tops are milky tops, but they are the glow in the dark ones. And that is literally what they look like. I took a couple of pictures. So there you go, guys. That is literally what they look like. But these are factory tops, but they are Gator and milky tops, so they're glow in the dark. And that's the difference that no one could guess. And it would take someone special to guess them. So very, very well done to Yak Bats for that one. Very well done. How much glow do you get visible under caps? I don't know. I've never built with them, Flex. I've never built them. They were made by Novel Keys with Gator, and yes, they were a Novel Keys product, yes. I got these off of Mike maybe 18 months ago now, and I've just never had a chance to use them. But there we go. That's how these Eva-themed switches, even though they're just GAT milky tops, with H1 bases, H1 stems, and sprit springs. Okay. So we talked about stabs, we talked about switches. Let's maybe take a look at the board now. So, gotta say one thing, Percent have upped their game on the packaging. It had all of these nice seals with the Percent logo on, which is really nice. And this is kind of like the accoutrements box. This is all of the kind of stuff that goes with the board that you need. So we have a build guide, which I'll show you guys in a minute. We have some green parts. That's a light bar part. We also have a green badge part, the F plate. Some standoffs. We have 2 feet in here. You can see there's 2 there. Called the ACER 1. And then these are the ACER 1, 2. So I think these are the steps that allow you to change how it works. So we'll have a look at those and how it works. I haven't taken any kind of look into how they work. These are all the silicone bump-ons. And gasket mounts. A packet full of screws. We've got what looks like an internal dampener with the Percent logo on it. This is really flexible, so it's hard to show you. And also 2 light bar covers by the looks of it as well. And then finally, we've got the Gen 2 Canoe Pcb. Now I did hear that this had been designed by Evie, aka Martin Wood, but I don't know if that's true or not. I did hear that it had been designed by him and completely done, but I haven't had confirmation of that either way. If it is, then congratulations to Evie, because that's a great step. But yeah, looks good. Hopefully it'll be more robust than the Canoe Gen 1 ones, and it doesn't have that extremely long USB port anymore, so that's a good step. So that's the first box, all done and dusted, apart from 2 parts, which I'll show you in a second. Okay, the other 2 parts that come are these. Now, I think these are actually the same part, but one is significantly more heavy than the other. So let's open these. I haven't looked at these. These are still sealed from when I got them, so I haven't opened these yet. I'm seeing these for the first time with you guys. Okay, so there's the green Percent base piece. Just completely clean on the other side. It's pretty nice. A couple of small anno marks here. I'm not sure if you can see those. There's just a tiny dot just there at the end of my finger. Looks pretty good either way. And then this one feels significantly heavier, so I'm assuming this one's going to be brass or stainless or something. H1 stems are just JWK, right? Yes, correct, Mina. Yes, correct. Okay, so this one's wrapped. Interesting. I've got glow in the darks in my gingham, been enjoying them. Nice catcher, nice. I've had them for ages and just wanted to use them. Use a heavier one for more quality. Nice. Oh yeah, look at this. So this is PVD coated brass by the feel of it, with the % logo on there. Really shiny. You can probably see the camera in that. There you go. There's the camera. Look. Hello, camera. Yeah, we probably will use a shiny one. That's nice. I don't usually like shiny, gaudy things, but I do like that. Let's pop those to one side. And try and pop all these parts to one side as well. What camera do I use? I have two cameras. At the minute, this one is the Sony a6300. I do have a Sony a7 as well, but that's at home. But this is probably more reliable for streaming. The a7 tends to cut out and it overheats, and there's no override for that, so it's really difficult to use consistently for streaming, I've found. Maybe I'm missing something, but the a6300 seems to be much better from that respect. This is the build guide as well, guys, so this is really nice. So I did take a look at this, but it shows you kind of everything you need to do. So step one, you need to put all of the bump-ons in place on the inside to make it the gasket mount, the pseudo gasket mount. Then you can put your stabilizers and switches in. It shows you how to put all of those together. Step 3 is then to add certain accoutrements and screw the plate down, including the light bar and everything else. And then step 4 is to add the top and the badge and then screw the whole case together. So it's kind of interesting that they put this in there, but it's really cool. And then the final bit is that it does show you here how to use the Acer foot system, which means you can adjust the angle of the keyboard by changing the foot itself. So we'll definitely take a look at that and see if we can work out how that works. So yeah, very interesting. It's silver PVD. It's not black. Sorry if that's hard to tell. It's silver. It is really hard to show you, but it's not black. It's completely silver. It's like a mirror finish. There you go. You can probably see there. Just my ceiling's like a light grey color, so it's showing that. There you go. Okay, now it's time to show you guys the board. So again, I've got to say, Percent have been knocking the packaging out of the park here. This is so nice. Little sleeve, and then box. Now, on the underside, this box does have the Percent logo as well. Just a really nice box overall. Little coding on the side, EVA 01. And there's the board, guys. Little pull tab. Lift the board out. Box is just really good quality, really nice. Tight fit. And then here's the board in purple and green. The Canoe Gen 2 logo here, and of course it does tell you which version it is, and shows all of the design and everything else. This is the EVA 01. It's just a really nice bit of kit. This is actually pretty light, but you can see this is where the dual foot system goes. There's rubber bump-ons due to go on the base, and then there's also this internal weight section here. So we're probably going to use the stainless one, I think, because it just looks really nice. Probably put that in there. So there we go, guys. That is the build. This is wrapped in plastic, which I'm sure you can see. I'll unwrap this when we get to that point in the build. But the first thing to do is to start putting stabilizers in our switches. I have an EVA 01 Gunpla model that will go perfect with this. Let's trade. Zui, yeah, let's sort something out. Tell me what you want and we'll sort something out. That would be pretty cool to have. What's this EVA thing anyway, apart from a colorway? So it's based on an anime called Evangelion, I think. Now, I've never seen it, so I don't know. I just like the colors, and hey, you're free to agree or disagree with me on whether you like the colors or not. But yeah, this is the build we're going to go for today. So first things first, take the PCB. I haven't tested this yet. I'm pretty sure it'll be fine, so I'm not going to test it. I know I should, but it's a personal build, not a custom one, so I'm happy to take the risk. And then we're going to put some stabilizers in it. Now, the choice we have here is, I'm not sure what bottom rows this takes, actually. I think it takes a 7U and a 6.25U. I think I'm going to play it safe and just go with the 6.25U bottom row here. So yeah. Hey, if the Skog comes in this colorway, I'll be definitely picking that up for sure, man. Definitely picking that up if it comes in this colorway. I've got a huge soft spot for this colorway. I hear Jay is recoloring his warehouse in Eva colors. Confirmed. Prototype his website as well. We'll be changing to Eva colorway soon. That's not true. That's not true. Take 6.25 and 7U, yes. Okay. Rabbit, if you were able to, can you confirm what 7U bottom row it takes? I assume it's still 3 keys to the left and then 2 keys to the right. But if you could confirm that for me, maybe we'll build it 7U. Okay. So we're going to be lubing our stabs with Krytox 205 grade 2 today. So we have a tub of it here. Now these stabilizers don't need clipping or anything because these are Duroc Mechanisk stabilizers. The closest thing I've got to matching the Eva colorway, so they're in the ultramarine color. They'll look okay. Won't be the perfect color match, but they'll look fairly good. So that's what we're going to build with today. Okay, now we are going to be building this in ISO, so hopefully we don't encounter any issues with that. And effectively what we're doing is full backspace, ISO enter, and then we'll only need another stabilizer for whichever spacebar row we take. Okay, now I'm going to put plenty of the 205 grade 0 here on the stab wire. Want a nice thick covering, but make sure it's not too much. It's easy to add more later on than it is to take anything away, so make sure that whilst you've got a good covering, you're not over lubing your stabilizers at this point. I'm going to take that and just pop it into the housing, just like so. Oh, so he's got a link to the Eva thing. Okay, man. Yeah, I do have a couple of Gundams from years ago when I used to build models, like, I don't know, this must be like 2003, 2004, but I've never actually built any of them. They're just sat there waiting to be built at some point. How much for that Krytox lube tub? It's not for sale, man. This is my personal tub. I think I got 3 of them direct from Krytox when I was selling Krytox on the store, but it's just too much effort packaging it and stuff, so I stopped doing it. And so many other people are selling lube anyway that I didn't think I was needed to. Okay, so that's our backspace one. Now we're going to do one for ISO enter, and then we need to decide on our spacebar. And we've still got to lube the rest of these stabilizers. We've only lubed the wires so far. We will do the slider rails as well in a second. We'll do that just before we plug them into the board. Just taking it steady. Just making sure we get a nice amount of lube on there. Any Cherry MX style switchboard that rivals the sound and feel of HHKB Topra. You're not going to find an MX switch that feels like a Topra keyboard. Like, it just doesn't exist. It's just due to the inherent limitations of how MX switches are designed. It's just not going to feel the same no matter what you do. That being said, there's a lot of good tactile options out there, so definitely take a look around. Lots of people like the Holy Panda. Lots of people like you know, some of the variations of that. Some people like Zelio's V2. There's a ton of tactile switches out there. You got to build it for the Reddit karma. I'll take a look at that link after the stream if you can DM it to me, Sweet, and I'll decide then whether I'm going to buy it and build it or not. Okay. No dielectric grease. No, I'm using Krytox 205 grade 0 on the wires today, so that's what I'm using. Let's take a look at that link from Rabbit. Okay, yeah, okay. Let's go 7U then. Let's go 7U. Let's go for the 7U spacebar. Oops. Throwing parts on the floor here. We'll go for the 7U spacebar. You know, I know it's kind of meaningless, but I almost want like a linear Topra. I'm not sure you can, just the way that the way that Topra works. I'm not sure you'd ever get it to feel like a linear actuation. Just the way it happens is. I mean, the dome would have to be past its collapse point and just ready to drop, which means it'd have to be very lightweight, I would suspect. I don't know if you could actually do it. It'd be an interesting mechanical challenge for sure, but I'm not sure how good it would feel. I think, yeah, in my head, for linear, you're going to have to go for MX or Alps, I think. MX is far more prevalent these days. Okay, so that's all of these lubed up. What we're going to do now is lube the slider rails, and we probably don't need to add any more lube to our brush. In fact, we probably need to just take some off. Got a really light coating just on the rails, just to make sure they're nice and smooth. This should only take a minute. I think we've still got plenty on here. Yeah. And then what we're going to do is just take a small amount and just place it underneath the bottom of the stabilizer. Just like so. Okay. Then that one's good to pop into the board. And then we'll screw these in once they're all in place. Built my 38.5 board, or E8.5 board, lovely board. Nice, man. Yeah, I actually moved mine down to the warehouse today. I'm probably going to give it away at some point. I did tell Exclusive that when he sent it to me that I'd give it away at some point on Top Clack, but I wanted to wait until after the group buy had shipped. So I think that's almost done now, or it's very much in the process of shipping. So once all those boards are out there and Exclusive confirms that, I'll start to think about how we're going to do the giveaway. Okay, there we go. And then now we're just going to do the 7U spacebar. GG Lagardi, hey man, welcome to the show. Good to see you, dude. Really enjoying my E8.5. Yeah, it's a good board. I used it for a couple of weeks once I'd built it. I haven't used it since, but I used it for a couple of weeks. Now it is built ISO, so I'll probably have to desolder it for whoever does win the board when I give it away. But yeah, it's definitely something we'll do. Okay, and then just looking at the layout, the 7U wire is going to go in here. Just like so. Okay, great. Now put the brush and the lube to one side. There we go. Okay. He's halfway through. A lot of boards to ship. Yeah, I think he did do a lot of boards. I think he had like 300 or 400 orders for it. So yeah, it took me so many of the years being in the community before I actually got a custom board. Well, hey man, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Only ISO users allowed to enter. No, the E white on it looks amazing. Hoping that will be my first TKL. It's Derek says, is it the lights or is that GMK Phantom have shine already? So the set was second hand when I got it. I didn't buy it brand new. It was very much a second hand set. And I've just realised that I'm going to have to run and grab a Phillips screwdriver. I've only got hex screwdrivers here. Give me 1 second, guys. Back in a second. Hey guys, sorry about that. Just needed a Phillips screwdriver. Okay, so now we've got these in the board. We're just going to screw these in. Oops. Or we would do if we were a little bit more sensible. Remember guys, when you tighten in screws in to hold in your stabilizers, you don't want to go too tight. You're only trying to hold the stabilizer in place. You're not trying to crush the PCB. You're not trying to break or damage the stabilizer itself. So just be careful. You don't need to go too hard with them. Change up screwdriver size. There we go. 10th Keycap anniversary for me next year. Wow, man, that's huge. That is huge. Like, I think I've been on Keycap maybe 6 or 7 years now. Okay. That's the spacebar installed. I'm just going to do the ISO enter next. Then we're all good from a stabilizer perspective. So again, just making sure we're just tightening these up nicely, not over tightening them, not crushing the PCB, just making sure they're nice and tight, not overly tight. Okay. A slight design flaw here, just on the PCB. The stab actually touches this this underglow LED. Not sure if that's focusing, but the stab, the actual point where it pops through, just there, it's not going to focus, is actually touching. Hopefully that'll be okay. It looks like it should be okay. Stabilizer set nice and flush, so we'll assume that's going to be okay. 10 years ago, you could have joined OTD group buys. Well, yeah, if you were part of the Korean scene back then, you would have been able to, yeah. 10 years is a long time, man. A long time. Okay, so now that's built, it's time to open up the board and take out the plate, and then we can start to look at popping the switches in. So, I'm going to try and open this without damaging anything. So I'm going to aim for... There we go. So here's the board outside of the plastic wrapping, guys. It's pretty nice. Almost reminds me of a smiley face. There's a little bit up here. Okay, time to take it apart. See if we can find the right hex key first try. First try! There we go. Existentially yours. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you for being here. Okay. There we go. So we're going to take that out. That's the top case. So we can see here just how everything screws together. Holes up here for different mounting fixtures and screws and everything else. Kind of interesting. screws to one side. Really long screws for at the back. They must be 25 millimeters, something like that. Okay. And then we've got screws holding down the plate here. Okay, is it going to come off? Okay, so there's the plate, guys. This is probably 4 millimeters thick, I would guess, but it's clearly been milled just to accept the switches and stabilized wires and everything else. It's nice and thick. Maybe it's not quite 4 millimeters. Very sturdy. There's no flexibility in that. It's very thick, sturdy plate. Good news is that the stabilizers all fit nicely. Some more screws here. Need a slightly smaller hex key. We're gonna get the right one this time. Hey, look at that. 2 for 2. Oh, interesting. This has got plastic washers on. So if I don't know if you guys are even going to be able to see this on camera, but there is like a plastic washer on the end of these. Can you see that? Is that visible? It probably isn't visible, but there's like a plastic washer on these screws. I'm just going to make sure we keep those all together. Okay, and the screws are different sizes, so I'm just going to keep them separate. I've heard Gettinks don't fit in that plate quite well. I'm not using Gettinks. I'm actually using H1 bottoms with Gateron glow-in-the-dark tops. Okay, and we can take this piece out, and you can see that this has already got some of the rubber pieces installed. It's got 2 installed already. And then there's a base here. Lots of intricate machining needed to make this base. Like, look at these grooves here. That's some dedication. Anodization looks good. It's got the little logo here, Canoe Gen 2. There is some slight streaks on it on the inside, but there's none on the outside. So, yeah, pretty happy with the anodization quality. Okay. So, before we put the rest of this back together, I think we need to work out what we need to put on the inside. Okay, interesting. This isn't flat, like this rocks. That's interesting. Just to take up the shape of the case, it's got a whole curve in it on the side here. Interesting. Okay, put the tools to one side, and let's see if we can find that bag of gaskets and work out where everything needs to go. Okay, so we have some black ones that are the same as the ones that were already installed. You can see down here, guys, that were already installed. So I think we're just going to fill these gaps with these ones.
Ooh, very nice.
Pub Goku, thank you very, very much for the subscription there, dude. Okay, that's 2 installed. There we go, 1 more to go. Okay. Now it does look like those 2 access point accent parts on the back, they're just accents. Looks like they just screw in through there, so I'm just going to take a look and see if we can find those. Let's pop the gaskets to one side for a moment. And then let's see if we can take a look at how that all works together. So I think it's these here. These probably need some sort of screw to hold them in place. So yeah, so it looks like these just screw in, they sit in the hole like so, and they're just there for an accent part. So let's see if we can find the right screw for those. So many screws. Okay. It's not that one. Don't think it'll be this one. Okay, so it could be that one. That one's likely too small. Yeah. Okay, so I think it's more likely to be these black ones here. More likely to be these. So we'll see if those will hold it in place. Let's just see if they will fit. Yes. Okay. We're just screwing those in nicely now. There we go. That's one in. That's two in. Okay, it's not over tightening those, just enough so that they hold, and they're just there as a little accent just in the back there. There you go, guys. Okay. So now we've got those in place. I think the next thing to take a look at is the foot system. See if we can get these installed. I've not seen what the differences are with the Canoe Gen 2. What are our initial thoughts? It's much more complex. Did I pick up the GMK mecha set? Yes, I did pick up the mecha set. Yes, absolutely. GMK Mecha 01. Everything comes in these bags. The quality in these new canoe boards is crazy. Like it's hugely different. Okay. I'm going to hope that I put the guide down somewhere where I can easily get it as well. Did I throw it on the floor? No, it's here. Let's see if we can take a look at this guide. Okay, so what it looks like is the foot goes on the outside, and then you put the little circle bit on the inside. So the circle bit goes here, and then I guess you would... it doesn't show that you screw it down, but I think what happens is the feet come through these holes, and then what you do is you twist this, and then the feet will get lodged underneath this kind of ring, so you'll twist it around to hold them in position, and then screw them in maybe if you need to. So let's take a look here. Okay, and then there's these little tiny rubber gaskets. Now I'm going to guess that the rubber gaskets sit on the inside of this here. That would make most logical sense for me for where they need to sit. So I think that these will sit just on here like so. So they're going to just sit on there like that. And then we're just going to push that all down so it's nicely glued into place. And you can see that's what they look like before. Come on, camera, focus. There you go. Yeah, like it makes the build process more fun though, right? Especially when there's no instructions and you're having to guess where everything goes as you go through. I do want to speak to Fugri though about who makes these gaskets, because these are really rather nice. Kind of fiddly to install these bits, but we're there, we've got it, there we go. Okay, and then I think what we need to do is decide whether we want to put them on the higher marking or the lower marking. So we can either put them in this way, go. We can either put them in here, in this one, and that would lift the board up higher because they're further forward, or we can put them on the lower setting and put them towards the back. Let's try it with the lower setting first and see how that goes. Okay, and I think what we need to do here is pop this circle piece on top and then twist it round. And as we twist it, it should hold those bottom feet into position. Oops. Interesting. So that's not quite holding into position at the minute. Okay. See if we can get this to do a half turn. Okay, so that's held in place. I think there should still be a screw that goes in there to hold it all together nice and tightly. We'll have a look for that in a second. The only thing that I dislike about this is you have to push metal parts against metal parts, and like you can feel them kind of grating on each other a little bit. Okay. So they don't feel particularly secure, so I do think they need screwing down. I'm going to guess it's these ones. Just hold it all flush and tightly together. Okay, so the foot's still kind of got a bit of movement to it. It's still not solidly in place. Like that still moves. Interesting. In before I'm using the wrong screws here, and I should actually be using some other ones that actually work better. In fact, I think it's going to be these ones maybe, because this uses a star driver. Let me see if I've got one that fits. It's too small. I think this one. Perhaps it's going to be this one. Oh, that doesn't screw in. Okay. Oh wait, it does. It does screw in. Nope. It doesn't screw in. Okay. That does mean that it has to be these ones. I did not think there was a screw for the legs. Well, there is a threaded slot there, and these screw in, so that does hold that piece in tightly. And it stops it twisting round as well, you see, which I think is the trick. If you move them further to the back, it's going to be lower. So if you move them to the back, this is the lower setting. If you move them to the front, it's going to make the board higher, because it's going to make the standoffs be higher. But these still feel a little bit loose. Like, I could still probably pull that out. I'm not quite happy with that. I wonder if there's something I'm missing here. Okay. Okay, so that's now gone a full half turn. Let's see if that feels any better. Okay, that feels much more secure in that one. Let's readjust this side. So what I'm doing is I'm just making sure that the actual foot is the actual mechanism on the inside, this green part here, is actually done a full quarter turn. or half turn instead of a quarter turn, so going halfway around the circle instead of a quarter of the way around, and that does seem to make it a little bit tighter. Okay, this one won't turn. Have a look and make sure nothing's blocking this. I'm really worried about scuffing the anode here. Like, there's some marks on it now, but it's just like dust. Okay, let's try popping that back in. That's a quarter turn, so now the opening's here at the side instead of at the top. So the opening at the top is now at the side. I'm just going to try and turn it. Maybe if we go the other way. It's a little bit more faffy than I was expecting it to be. Let's try going the other way this time, see if we can turn it the other direction. Okay, so it won't turn the other way, which makes me wonder if that's why it's getting stuck. When we turn it the way we turn the other one. Won't turn anymore. Okay, it feels more secure now. Let's screw that down and make sure that's all okay. Okay, the feet feel much firmer and in position now. Some slight marks on the bottom from dust, nothing else. There we go. Okay, so they're in position now. A little bit more faffy than I was expecting it to be, but hey, we got there in the end. Then we can put this piece back and we can screw this back in. These are the screws that have got the little clear plastic washers on the bottom as well. And then you can see that the plate sits on these gasket points. Okay. This is a fairly involved build. Okay, let's take a look at the plate and see if we need to do anything to the plate. So it looks like there is also part for a gasket mount on the inside here as well. Interestingly, I'm not sure why that would be there and not be on the other side. So it's like it's got a cutout for a gasket here, but it doesn't have it at the other side. Not quite sure why that would be the case. Doesn't seem to have any issues with movement or rocking or anything else. It seems to be fairly steady when it's sat there, so I don't think we need to put any more gaskets on that part. Let's just take a look at the instructions and see if it does mention it. So it shows us putting the screws in here, putting the gaskets in, and that's all it shows. Then it shows switches and stabilizer into the plate and PCB assembly. Then it also shows on the plate and PCB assembly we actually have to screw in the LED light part as well. So we'll get to that in due course. And then of course, just on the top case, we do have the little badge to install here, so we'll do that now. Okay, so I think this is actually the light bar, but this is the light diffuser that's going to go in top of the plate here. I'm just going to put the thin piece of silicone, so this is like a silicone mold. This goes inside to diffuse the light. So I'm just going to pop this into here. Okay, that's all now got the silicone piece in the base. And then when light shines through it, it's all going to be diffused through that light bar, and that's going to sit just on there towards the end of the build. Okay. Next up, we've got the F plate. This goes on the top just here. And we've got King Nesty in chat as well. Hey man, good to see you. I hope I'm putting this board together correctly. There's a little bits of complexity to it, so okay, before we put this on, let's just check we're using the right screws. I think it's going to be these guys. No, they don't fit. Must be. Okay, interesting. So the screws we've used here, these must go at the top. So King Nesty, what I need to know is what screws do I put in this? Which screws go in that? Because none seem to fit. And those ones screw in nicely. None of the others seem to. But it does mean that we need to take these from here. And then these are going to go into here. Just like so. There we go, that fits nicely. Okay. Okay, we should be good from there. That should be the top case done. So then we can put the board to one side, and we just need to do the plate assembly. 2 screws long enough just for those knobs. There wasn't any that screwed in, unless I've got another packet that I've missed. I'm not sure. We'll take a look later. We'll find them later on. It's fine. We can do that after the stream if we need to. Okay, so time to put the switches into the PCB and plate assembly. So as I said before, we are going with the ISO build layout for this particular one, and we've got full backspace and 7U bottom row. Now these switches are pretty tight into this plate assembly already, I can feel. So that did take some pressuring in. Let's see if this is going to hold together, or if I need to put the switches in the PCB first, or in the plate first, sorry. Let's see how that goes. Okay, so that's going to hold nicely, so we should be able to put everything in all at once. Be careful of your fingers. This is going to be a long old switch installation session, I suspect. Okay. Let's just get a few switches in around the PCB and plate assembly, and then we'll make sure everything's nice and neatly aligned before we put the majority of them in. Okay. Give myself some room. Yeah, this plate is mega tight. I mean, these are JWK H1 bottoms, which aren't usually a particularly tight switch. But this plate is really taking some force to get them in. Definitely glad I'm not building it with Holy Pandas. Okay. Let's pop some switches in the middle row now. Man. Okay. Rip thumbs. Can I have F's in chat for my thumbs? Because I think I'm going to end up with a blister here. Rip my thumbs. Look at that already, guys. I get 1 F. Thanks, guys. Thanks for that. I appreciate that. going to go with stepped caps lock for this build. Because, as everyone knows, stepped caps lock is the best. That switch went in way easier than the others, probably because it's got a larger cutout, but that went in significantly easier than the rest. Straight facts, absolutely. Need to invest in a thimble. Yeah, I do, man. I do. Like a plastic thimble that I can get some grip on with maybe some silicone on the outside. Okay. That board is nice, but waiting for my JL1 Rev 1. Nice. No, this is the Eva canoe Major Zot. What's the Franken switch? So we talked about this earlier on. These switches are H1 bases with Sprit 78 gram springs and H1 stems. The tops are Milky Gator on tops, but they're actually from the Glow series of switches, so they actually glow in the dark to help it fit the Eva theme a little bit better. That switch does not want to go in there. Let's take a look. That particular switch cutout is really tight. I'm just wondering if this switch is fully together properly or if it's actually an issue with that cutout. Let's try a different cutout. Okay, it's gone in there. That will do. Yeah, I got in on the Eva 01 switch group buy. There's a few different switches out there though for Eva themes that I've seen, so I definitely joined a couple of them. I can't remember exactly which ones it was. Man, some of these switches are taking an absolute pounding to get in. Well, Jay is here. Hello, Jovial Jay. Welcome to my stream. I am Jay too, so welcome. Easy clap. Good morning, Scary Bean. Welcome to the stream, man. Where on earth are you if it's morning? Like Hawaii? I think that's the only place left that's where it's morning, right? Man, this is tight. Okay, that one's in. That one's in. Okay. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. I'm just having to check that these are all actually flush with the top of the plate before I go any further. But they are so far. Yeah, these are the Gator on tops of glow in the dark. Hold on, let me turn the lights off for a second and you'll be able to see a little bit. And then I can show you on picture what it looks like in real life. So, there you go. You can see that they are glowing in the dark a little bit. If I turn the lights back on. Oof, right. I'll show you what they actually look like in a photograph. So, this is what they actually look like. So there you go. Okay. So I'm hoping that these two go in a little bit easier because they are for man, I thought that would go in easier, it didn't. Okay, so trying to get this switch to sit level. It's not having it at the minute. Because this is set in so what's happening here, guys, is this is split left shift, so we have two switches in here, but as you can see, it's actually kind of dipped by about 1/4 of a millimeter on this side, so I don't want that to be the case. I want it to be completely level, so I'm just going to try and level it out by prising up that side of it. and we've opened the switch. Okay, maybe I just need to prise it up a little bit. Okay, what can we do this with? I'm going to try not to... There we go. That should now sit level. There we go. So now the switch is sat level. There you go, this one here. And it was slightly dipped before. Okay. There we go. Jay's currently working out. Yeah, man. This is whew. Hi, Jay Station. Hey, man. Is that like Babe Station? Do they use the same plastic as normal Milky Gator ones? Yes, they do. They've just got a property instilled in them that allows them to glow in the dark. I don't know exactly which glow in the dark property they use. There's a number of different kind of resins and powders on the market that will give you the effect. I've no idea which one it uses. I think we've just bent that pin, so I'm just going to check that. Yeah, so I just bent a pin on this one. It felt weird going in. We should have plenty of spares, so rather than fix it, I'll just use a new one. There we go. Okay. Man, some of these switches are so tight. It's in. Try this one again. This one wouldn't go in last time. I put a different switch in there. Let's see if this one will. Okay, so that one's gone in. Just making sure that PCB is nicely nestled onto these switches now. Okay, now we should be able to carry on just pushing the switches in, and everything should, in theory, just line up correctly. Man, these are so tight. What is the purple keyboard? That is the FLX Virgo. Nick's Clicks, hey man, thanks for joining, dude. Thanks you for being here. Gosh, my thumb is getting a real workout here. I'm almost tempted to take a break and show you some key sets for a minute, because my thumb is really starting to hurt. Bent another pin, so I'm just going to take this one out. What are the Franken switches? So these are H1 bases with H1 stems, 78 gram sprit springs, and then Gatoron glow in the dark milky tops. Just so it fits that Eva theme nicely with the green. These tops are stock. This is how they come from Gatoron. Glow in the dark, man. Yeah, look, let me show you guys. Like, I've turned the lights off and you can't really see it on stream because the camera doesn't pick it up well. But that's what they look like. That is without any power. That's just literally sat in a dark room. That's what they glow like. So there you go. Yeah, we're going to look at Nautilus Nightmares and Froyo today because those are the two latest keysets I've had come in. Nautilus Nightmares is actually going to go on this keyboard, but we'll take a look at Froyo as well, just because I really like it. Where in the world do you find these tops? So I got these from Novelkeys about 18 months ago, something like that. And they came on a full Gateron switch, so I had to take apart the switches, harvest the tops, and then put them on the JWK bases. I'm not sure if they're still available or not. I don't know. I only got like 100 of them, and I've had them, as I say, for about 18 months, so I have no idea if you can still get them or not. Apologies for the noise, folks. I'm going to have to put my fan on. This is making me get a bit warm. These go in quite well if you just give them one good solid shove, but man, that hurts on the fingers. Getting there now, though, folks. The things I do for keyboards, man. Things I do for keyboards. No, it's a 3mm aluminium plate. 3mm aluminium. 5 meters thick, whoa, like the width of a room. Yeah, no, it's not quite 5mm. You can see there's still a gap between the PCB and the plate here. It's about 3mm, I'd guess. King Nesty, who's in chat, can probably tell you. Why the voice reverb? There should be no reverb turned on. You shouldn't be hearing any reverb. This is just the normal Rode microphone, as it's always been. Hey James, building with your favourite colourway. James is a huge fan of Eva coloured things, so yeah, let's let James know how much you guys like the Eva colourway as well. Show him some solidarity in arms. James is going to get annoyed with me because he hates this colourway. He hates it. Oh man, these switches are so tight. We're getting there though, guys. We're getting there. We are making good progress, and we're getting there. Oops. Unit 01, all the things. Absolutely, man. Swap thumbs on pushing. Man, I wish I could. Like, I just can't get the leverage with my left thumb to get the switch in. Yeah, I just can't get the leverage with my left thumb to get the switches in. And then sometimes, like this one, they just don't want to go in. I think that's nice and flush now. Maybe not quite. There we go. Still not quite happy with how this switch is sitting. I'm not sure if it's visible, guys, but this switch just seems to be slightly tilted. Can you guys see that? Just need to have a look at that. Might be the plate that's not quite scoped out enough for split left shift. I may have to trim down the edge of the switch. I'll have a look at it. Oh, the embedded video kept playing. Ah, there you go. I knew it wasn't on my side. Weak left thumb. Yeah, man. Yeah. These Milky Tops are glow-in-the-dark Milky Tops, Z-Lobby. They're not standard Milky Tops. I think it was Yak Bats that guessed correctly that that's what I was going to use. So big shout out to Yak Bats for being the only person to remember that these existed. What's this about Salvin doing a build service? Salvin does a build service now? I didn't know about that. If he does, I'll send him some boards to build. Hammer build service. Ah, right, okay. Yeah, percussive maintenance, right? That's the trick. Some of these switches are just so tight. They just do not want to sit in the plate. There we go. I'm just double triple checking that these are all sitting flush with the plate. The last thing I want is to solder this together and then have some switches slightly out of position. I've never watched either, so I have no idea what it's even about. I just like the colours, man. Whoops. Nearly. That's how tight these are. These are so tight. The Weebs is taking over the asylum. Mecha 01, GMK Mecha 01 sold really well, yeah. It did really well. Okay, I am going to take this switch out and try and reinstall it because I'm really not happy with how it's sat. Like, great, this switch just completely opened up on me. Like, I think I'm going to try and prise this switch completely out because I'm just not happy with how it's sat at all. So, excuse me while I do some rough maintenance here. Oh, actually, maybe we've just got it here. Maybe. I'm actually kind of happy with how it's set now. Hold on. Okay, we've got it. It's now nice and flat and flush, guys. There we go. A little bit of tinkering, and we've got it. I love how Jay's the only one doing ISO on this build. Well, hey man, like, ISO is my national layout. I've got to use it. Nearly there now, guys, with the switches, and then we can crack on to soldering. The caps are an exercise in maximalism. So much going on. Absolutely, man. That's the whole point of the EVA colorway. It has lots going on. Okay, so now we've got those done, we just need to remember that we're going to be doing 1.5, 1, 1.5, 7, 1.5. So I just need to make sure I get the switches in the right order for this. So it's going to be there for that one. And then we're going to be going 1.5. And then 1.5. Should be there. There we go. So that should be the right bottom row for this particular build. So there we go, guys. That's all of the switches input. There you go. Took a bit of time. My thumb took some suffering for it. Look at that. Look at that. Bruised and battered. There we go. Okay. So now we've got those all installed. The next thing we're going to do is start to solder the board together. Which does mean that it's time for Q&As. So guys, if you have any questions you would like to ask me, you can ask now and I will answer. You can ask me questions about keyboards. You can ask me questions about life. You can ask me questions about anything as long as it doesn't break Twitch's terms of service. All you need to do is tag me by saying @TopClack. Ask me any question you like. Can be cars, can be key sets, can be what do I do for a living, anything like that. You name it, I will answer it as long as it doesn't break any Twitch terms of service. So feel free to ask away. Let's Zapri, let's do key set openings after we've done the soldering. As soon as we've done the soldering, we'll do that. First thing I'm going to do, just while you're asking questions, guys, is I'm just going to solder the first 4 corners in place. Just make sure everything is held nice and neatly before I solder the rest. So get your questions in @TopClack. Ask your questions, can be about anything, and I will answer as closely as I can. Okay, that doesn't look like it's quite in. There we go. Okay, let's see what questions you guys have got in. Keep them coming, guys, because this is going to take me a few minutes, and I'll try and get through as many questions as possible. Okay, so first question from Nick's Clicks. He says, as a vendor, how do you go about choosing keycap sets to run? It depends, man, right? I tend not to reach out to people to run keycap sets. I do very occasionally if it's something I really, really like. But usually I let people just reach out to me and ask me if I want to run it. Assuming they do ask me, then it depends on what it is. I feel like I can sell a set better if I have an idea of what the set's about, if I can relate to it in some way, and if I like it. So as a vendor, I tend to pick projects that I like and know, and just feel like I can do justice to, like, as a vendor. So that's generally my process. Rabbit says, will the next J board support EVA 01 colorway? I'm really tempted to do myself a personal J01 in EVA colorway. So maybe, like purple top, green base, and pen rail. I'm really tempted to. So maybe, if I can find 5 people who are willing to spend $600 on a EVA J01, then maybe I would. But I'm not sure I'll find 5 people that'll want it. So that's going to be the trick. We did just skip one switch here because I've just got a pin that's not there, so just going to have to go back and remove that switch at the end and then put it in. So I think I've got the bent pin on that one. We should be okay. Next question says, what's the fastest you have ever gone in a motorized vehicle? So, like, I've done track days and I've done other bits and pieces, probably somewhere in the region of 160, 165 miles an hour, something like that. That's kind of probably the range that I've been in. I couldn't give you an exact number, but again, we've got another bent pin there. It's 2. Hold on. Let me solder this switch and I'm just going to check for the rest of them. Yeah, I couldn't give you an exact speed, but I've done a ton of track days. I've driven a lot of cars. So I'm just going to go through and check all of these switches. Make sure everything's in here. I want to make sure that I've not got any more bent pins before I carry on soldering. I usually check straight away. Okay, so ISO enter. Okay, hold on. Let's fix these bent pins before we go any further. I usually do this before soldering, but my mind got ahead of me, and I didn't. Okay, we'll go back and get the other bent pins afterwards. Okay, we should be good now. Wow, lots of questions. What's lots of questions? Be careful with the PCB. Mine was bulged due to different tolerances between the PCB and plate. Looks like all good for that. When will we get J score 2.0? So I want to bring that back as a community score and not do them as a J score. It's just a work in progress. I just need to find the time to do it. Like, I'm so busy lately, guys, that just finding the time to stream is difficult. Never mind trying to find the time to do everything else around it that I need to do. So the J score will come back as the community score, TC community scores, and it's something that both Brian and I will do. Don't know when. It's just going to take some time to get there, but it will come back. You will see it again at some point soon. Okay, next question says, what's your next must-buy keyboard? I'm tempted by the Mode 80. I don't know. We'll see. Other than that, I don't know. There's so many good things coming out. OGR, probably. OGR would be up there. What are your opinions on this board? Looks pretty good with GMK Mecha. I haven't looked at that one. Let me have a look. Not a fan of the sides. Yeah, not a fan of that. Sorry, dude. Have you made any Franken switches with Utemu Phoenixes? Just Phoenix switches, just standard Phoenix switches. I haven't made anything else like that. Nerdy says, plan on getting a Tesla anytime soon. I know you collect some cool ass cars, mostly vintage. This is something incredibly modern, like a Tesla on your radar. I've test driven a couple of Teslas, and I do really enjoy driving them, and I would love an electric daily driver. I'm just not in the market for a new car right now. Like, I think I'll have to be in the next 18 months or so, but I don't know, man. Like, if I was going to get one, I'd probably get a Model 3, not a Model S. I just can't justify that kind of money for a saloon car, like an executive saloon. So I would probably go for the Model 3 rather than anything else. But I don't know. Maybe. It's definitely on the list. The other option that I've been toying with is like a 10-year-old Maserati. That's the other option. Because why not, right? You only live once. But again, it's going to be 18 months or so before I buy a new car anyway, so there might be something else on the radar at that point. Is a JO2 case the same one being sold on Canon Key's small case? I don't know what you mean, Blackadder. If you can re-ask the question, tag me again with a link to what you mean, I can tell you. H1s versus H1s with Milky Tops sound. Enemy's friend, yes, I prefer the Milky Top sound. I think H1 switches sound not great, so putting the Milky Top on them definitely improves them. Who do you think is the most underrated designer in this hobby? That's a good question, Huey. Underrated designer? Like, I don't know, man. Like, that's a really difficult one because I don't think anything is underrated right now. Everything sells. Like, everything sells. Like, I have so many designers that I like and respect who I work with or I talk to or I've seen or I bought their keyboards or whatever. I couldn't pick one person and say that they're underperforming and flying beneath the radar in terms of keyboards these days. I think everyone is doing well, and I think that's a good thing. There is a huge market out there for this kind of stuff lately, which just beggars belief compared to where we were 12, 18 months ago. So I don't know if I can answer. It's a really good question. Underrated. Like, I don't know who's underrated by the community. Give me some examples and I might be able to answer that a bit better. Feel like we've been short on 1800 layout group buys recently. Know of any spicy stuff on the horizon? Yeah, I actually built a mini 1800 a couple of weeks ago called the Petrichor. I absolutely adore that board. It's really good. The Cypher was another mini 1800 that's coming back for another group buy, I heard. I don't know when though. The LZ, not the LZ, sorry, the The Kin board, what's it called, the TX 1800, that is a superb board, and I would recommend anyone looking for an 1800 to get one of those. I think they're really, really good. Flicker says, have you ever tried modding a PCB to use a big O-ring as a gasket and a tray mount? Yes, I think you have to design the board for it. I don't think it works that well if you just shove it in any old board. So if you get like a tofu and you try and do it with that, I don't think it works as well as if the board's actually designed for it. Boards should be designed for the mounting system or systems that they use. You shouldn't just try and add a mounting system to a board because you think it's cool. Like, it should be part of your initial design criteria to design for that particular mounting style. So yeah. Anjo says, does your keycap set response also follow with other items you wish to carry as a vendor? Yeah, like I have to like stuff, otherwise I feel like I can't do it justice if I don't like it. I mean, there's exceptions. There's stuff that I run as favors to other people, or like people will ask me nicely, and I'll just believe in them. But if I guess that means there's two categories, right? I have to either believe in the set design itself, and it has to be something I actively like and want to promote, or I absolutely have to believe in the designer and have thorough trust in them that they know what they're doing and that they know their market, even if I don't know it. And that's kind of how I work with stuff. But it's really important to me that I get on with the people that I work with, and that experience has got to be nice. I don't want to work with people and just have struggles or issues. Like, I'm an open book when it comes to that kind of stuff. I'll be completely open, completely honest. I'll say exactly what I'm thinking. I'll give criticism constructively, and it's really important to me that people respond well to that. But yeah, I'm always down to look at new things and try new things out and work out what I want to do. I've definitely said no to a few people. That doesn't always go down well. Buys Eva Colorway, hasn't watched Evangelion. Yeah, I like the colours, man. I like the colours. Please show me the shine on those purple caps in front of you. The purple caps, they're not really that shiny. It's more the light than anything. Hold on, let me see if I can show this without knocking my knee over. They're not that shiny. It's more the light. I mean, I've got two really bright streamlights on here. They're not particularly shiny. They might look it, but they're still textured. I haven't lost the texture yet, which is the main test I use for GMK caps. It's more the light than anything. You'll see the same shine on a brand new set when I put it on here. What car do you do your track day in? Road, supercar, or dedicated track car? So I don't own any track cars myself right now. I have done in the past. I've kind of, like, my whole car collection has changed drastically over the past year or so. But I do have a friend who's got a couple of track cars that we use quite frequently, a couple of times a year. Right now, my favourite is probably his Caterham. I actually bought a Caterham after we built his because I wanted to build my own and match it, and I just never got round to it. So that was one of the cars that I let go towards the back end of last year, a full Caterham kit car. They are just so much fun. In the past, I've part-owned a few different cars, everything from Lotus to an Ariel Atom and things like that, and yeah, good fun. One of the most fun cars I've ever driven on a track was a Clio Cup 172. So this is a Renault Clio that's got 172 brake horsepower and no traction control, no computer-aided mechanics or anything like that. You could actually get it to cock a leg and go on three wheels when you turned into a corner. It was unbelievably good. That was one of the most exciting things I've ever driven on a track, and to say it was a Clio, man, I loved that thing. I loved it. Since you always point out the terms of service part, what was the single largest, the largest single object inside you? I have no idea. I can't answer that, man. I can't answer that. Singapore, hey man. Blackadder says, is this the same one that JO2 will come with? Let me have a look. Yes, it is. That's exactly the same as the JO2 one will come with, apart from it'll be cut specifically for the JO2. Yeah. When is OGR? What is OGR? Wait, what? What's the newest car you've owned? I've got a 2-year-old Kia Sportage. Before that, I had a which I bought in 2018. I had a 2016 Mazda 6 Sport Nav, which was an absolutely lovely car. Like, I genuinely really liked that. I've had quite a few new cars over the years. I tend to buy one; it'll last me 2 to 4 years, and then I'll trade it in and go for another new car. The latest car that I bought was actually a pickup truck for Prototypist, which is a 1989 Volkswagen Caddy pickup. It's in green to match the Prototypist colorway. And yeah, it's got a 1.9 litre turbo diesel engine in it, which is an AAZ engine from a 1994 Volkswagen Passat. And that thing goes like rocket fuel. It is so fast. That's the latest car that I bought anyway. But apparently that's fake news, and I don't really have it, and it doesn't really exist according to some people. Which is funny. Okay. I think if I had to pick my favourite car that I own, though, it would always be my Datsun. The Z is just something else, guys. It's like it's my passion project. It's my, after my wife, it's my one true love. Lease or buy a car? Like, I don't see a problem with leasing if you want. I like to buy them because then I can do what I want to them. Like, if you lease a car, you can't change anything. Sure, it might be better over time or whatever like that, and you don't have to worry about repairs and stuff and all of that kind of stuff. Yeah, it makes sense to me. But if I want to change something on my car, I want to be able to change it. I don't want to have to do it by proxy and speak to some kind of company to be able to enable me to make small changes to cars and things like that. So, no, I don't. The OGR is coming out. Don't worry, guys. The OGR is definitely coming out. That's happening. Right, okay, so we've got a couple of switches on here that we need to fix because we've got bent pins. Just need to find them again, and I've just realised I need my soldering iron actually to be able to get these out. So, what we're going to do is we're going to find the switch. We are going to hold onto the switch with the switch puller. And then we're going to heat up the pin that we soldered by mistake, and then we're going to give a tug, and hopefully it will come out. It will do, and this is one back up. Come on. This does not want to come out. Holy crap. Like, I'm having to really, really tug at that. Let me see if I can get a better handle on it on the sides now. There we go. Okay, so that's one. And then the other one was this one here. There we go. Okay, so that's those two out. I don't think there's any more. Oh, there was one more, but that's not soldered at all, so that should come straight out. I think it's this one. Let's just check. This one here. Let's fix these bent pins. And then we can go ahead and resolder. That's one in. Now these ones I'm going to have to heat them up as I solder them in, which is always frustratingly difficult to do, especially when the plate is really, really tight. So I'm going to just try and scoop away the solder here. Okay. Check that's in nicely. There we go. Okay, so that one's in. We're just going to solder the rest of that switch, the other switch, and then we'll put the third one back in. Okay. I'll be back at chat. As soon as I've got this switch in place, guys, I'll be looking back in chat to see what you're talking about. Man, that's going to be really hard to get in. Okay. Okay, I don't think this one's going to have it. Like, this just feels like it's already going to be really, really tight to fit in. We may have to actually desolder this one properly. I was hoping I wouldn't have to desolder it properly, but it looks like I'm going to have to desolder that one properly and fix that after the stream, guys. So we're just going to have one switch that's just not going to be in there, I'm afraid. That's frustrating. Hold on, maybe if we try again, actually. It's not quite level. Maybe if we try again. Yeah, this is just not quite having it. Let's see if we can get the solder out of the hole. Let's see what we can do from that. Okay. I do have a desoldering gun. I just really don't want to use it. What pain. Ooh, very nice. Thank you very much, Cozy Fanatuti. Okay, we should actually be able to get the switch in now. Okay. Okay, so we've cleared enough solder out of the hole. We should actually be able to get enough leverage behind the switch now to push it in. Maybe it's a switch issue. Maybe the issue's with the switch here, guys. Okay, yeah, so the reason why it's not going in actually is because the pin is bent on the base, like the plastic pin. That's all bent at an angle. So I'm just going to change the switch and hopefully it will go in. Hold on, let me grab another switch. There we go. Okay, now we can solder that switch, and then we're done at soldering. Hey Unicorn, thank you very much for joining, man. You are never late. You're always exactly the time you expected to be here, and the time you decided you were going to arrive. Okay, cool. There we go. All done soldering. Let's put that to one side. And now we can tuck away the tools and put the board together, and then we'll take a look at key sets. I guess this desk pad is a reference to Magic the Gathering. This desk pad is for GMK Black Lotus, so yes, you could say that. Honda CRV for the win. Nothing wrong with any car that you find useful, man. Nothing wrong at all with that. Okay, so now we've got that in place. We can then sit the board back together. Okay, that looks okay. Now, let's take a look at the other parts. Once we've got the board screwed together, we'll then take a look at the key sets we're going to look at today. So I think this is a sound deadening mat that goes inside the bay. Just look at that. That's really nice. Just a nice little bit of rubber. There we go, guys. There we go. And the other thing we need to do is put the light bar on here. Where did those instructions go? Let's see which screw it tells me to use for this. And do we screw down or up? So we screwed down into this. So it's showing here we screwed down into it. And we just need to find screws that will fit. I think it might be these. Yes, there we go. And for that we need a small hex. Too small. Not a hex. There we go. Okay. That's one screw in. That's two screw in, and that gives us the light bar in position as well there. There we go. Okay, next thing to do then is to screw the top case on. Oh no, in fact we need to screw the plate down, sorry. We need to screw the plate down. Which means we need this again. So I'm just going to, I don't want to over compress the gaskets here, I just want to lightly screw these down. So as soon as I start to feel a little bit of resistance and no pressure downwards from the screwdriver, so I'm not pushing downwards with the screwdriver, as soon as the screwdriver kind of like slips out of the screw, that's kind of enough pressure. Yeah, the plate's screwed in. There we go. And then put the top case back on. And then we're going to screw this bit together as well. Now, I know that if you over tighten these screws, you can have an issue with them, so I'm not going to over tighten them again. I'm just going to do them finger tight. And same at this side. Just tight enough to hold the board together. Then we're going to come down and do the front row. Time for keep feet picks. Absolutely, man. making sure we haven't over tightened these. We have a little bit. We just want to loosen these off. Just making sure that that gap is nice and even down the sides. Check the other side now. There we go. Okay. And then just time to put the weight in the base. We are going to use the fingerprint magnet, I think. We're going to use this piece. There we go. And then I think we're going to have to use these screws to screw it in. Try not to put any fingerprints on the weight on the bottom. H1 with milky glow in the dark tops, yes. Time for keep feet pics, yeah. Source on the MTG Desmat. I sold it on my site. I don't have any more available, sadly. You might be able to find some on TKC extras, the Key.company extras, but it'll be a while before they sell them because it goes with the GMK Black Lotus Desmat. Okay, so there you go, guys. There's the weight at the bottom. That looks really good. See the camera assembly look? There you go. And down to my face even. There you go. Okay, right. Before we do anything else, I'm going to put the feet on the base. And then before we do anything else, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at a couple of key sets. And then once we've done that, we will put a key set on this board. And then we'll do a little bit of a typing test. And then that'll be the end of the stream. Hi Fabian, thanks for joining, man. Okay, so they can go to one side, they can go to one side, or I can go to one side. There we go. That weight can go to one side. We don't need that booklet anymore. We don't need these tools, so we can put these away now. Let's get all of these away. There we go. Don't need that anymore. Don't need that. Pop that away. There we go. Okay. I feel like we're tidy again now. We're in good shape. It's now time to take a look at a couple of key sets, guys, before we put one of the key sets on that particular board. I'm really happy with how that looks. These glow-in-the-dark switches are going to look great on this. Look at that. It does look really nice. I do like the side profile. I do like the front. I'm really worried about the feet. They feel tight now, but they didn't before, so I'm interested to see how that carries on. Board's pretty light. It's not a heavy board. Thank you for your help with vendors. Hey, man. No worries, dude. Anytime. Okay, so first things first. Let's take a look at GMK Froyo. So this came in the other day, and I'm actually really pleasantly surprised by how this came out. Like, I was expecting to like it, but I wasn't sure how much I was going to like it. And you know what? I actually really genuinely do like this. Like, it's a really understated set, and the amount of text novelties it has, really impressed with this. I mean, look at that set. Like, it's just really good. Look at all of these legends: fill, deluxe, topping, way, discount for the backspace. That's really cool. Look at that. Total for your enter key, sale, add, all sorts of different things. Caps lock is double, extra feed tab. Just some really cool text novelties. One of my favorite keys is this one just here. It says on it. Now the only thing that's missing at the minute, which is why I can't use this, is the ISO kit. So Candy Keys are sending me, yeah, this tray cracked really badly. Look at that. Just sad. Just sad. But hey, it's one of those things. So I do have the numpad kit. I've also got the ISO and Spacebar kit coming. That's coming from Candy Keys with my GMK Ursa keycap set. So that should be here in the next few days as well, once they ship it out. So there we go, guys. That's the first one I wanted to show you, GMK Froyo. This is actually going to go on my Petrichor board that we built a couple of weeks ago. I just need the ISO kit, and then as soon as I've got that, it'll be on that board. So there we go. That's one key set down. The next key set I want to show you guys is Nautilus Nightmares. Now, I do have some of the, I'm not going to turn these over yet, I do have some of the separate trays, so I could show you the keycaps outside of the trays, and I'm sure you've already seen pictures of these, but I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to open the actual base pack, which is still sealed, and show you guys it from there. So this is Nautilus Nightmares. Comes in a pretty interesting box design. I've not seen this anywhere before in relation to the keycap set. And Zambamun's logo on the bottom. I know this keycap set's going to be messed up inside, I can already tell. Let's find the screwdriver. So this is still sealed. This has still got all of the plastic on it. So if you haven't unboxed a new GMK set, this is what the experiences that you get. So that's the outside wrapping. Put that to one side. You do get another layer of plastic on this on the inside again. So I'm just going to score that and peel it off. So it does keep them together a little bit better in shipping. But I still feel like this this sounds like they've gone all over the place. There again, it did come from drop, so it's been from the EU over to the US and back to the EU. So we'll see. Package sounds nice. Yeah. Here we go, guys. This is GMK Nautilus. Okay, it's not as messed up in there as I thought it would be. This is what it looks like up close. How close is this to what you're seeing on screen? Like, that's not a million miles away. It's pretty close to that. I don't think it's as it was sold, but I don't think it's a bad keycap set. Like, as I say, I'm showing you guys it like this here. I had seen it before because I do have the international kit and the ISO kit and everything else that's needed, the Spacebar, whatever else this is. Oh, it's novelties as well. So I kind of have all of the different bits, but like, it's not as bad as I was expecting it to be. Like, I saw a load of pictures and it showed it being really off, but it's kind of almost there. It's not a million miles away. It'll do. Like, the mods are off a little bit. Like, they're not perfect, but I mean, that's pretty close to how you see it on screen is pretty close. It's not perfect because, hey, no streamer's setup is going to be perfect, but it's pretty close. Like, that's pretty close to what it looks like in real life. Like, it's not a million miles away from what you're seeing on screen. In terms of the renders, the mods are worse than the alphas. The alphas are quite close, but yeah, I don't know. It's not as bad as I was expecting it to be. Like, I was expecting it to be way worse than this. It looks closer to the renders in person than it does in any picture I've seen. Like, if you took the render and then you look at a picture, it looks way off. In person, it looks better. It looks much closer. But I think there's an aspect of the set that just doesn't, like, it looks lighter actually. When I hold it here, it looks lighter on here than it does on there. And to whoever was asking about the shine on the keycaps, this is brand new, not typed on, and you can see the lights are giving it that same shine if I hold it at certain angles. That's why these look shiny. It's just the light. Like, if I put them down here, they'll get the same shine effect. Look, just the lights. But it's not as bad as I was expecting it to be. Like, I was expecting this to be way worse going by the pictures that I'd seen, and it's actually not that bad. It's not that bad. Okay, so we are going to go with this key set on here for now. I think it's going to clash with the green. If it does, I'll have to wait from GMK Mecha 01. I do not have anything else that can go on this board that will even remotely look reasonable. So we're going to have to go with this keycap set for now. But let's see what it looks like once we get it on there. Okay, I'm not happy with that, but I don't have any choice right now. Just ship all GMK keys in bags. Hey, Zui, I remember when that was the thing, right? GMK keycap sets did get shipped in bags. I do remember that. That was a thing for a long time. use the Phantom. Or just any black and white. Maybe. Let's put this on for now. And if it if it looks terrible, I'll take it off. Wasabi could look good. Yeah, I don't have Wasabi. I don't think Wasabi has ISO either. It might do. It might not. Green tea would be nice. I do have DCS green tea somewhere actually. I could dig that out. Okay, I'm really upset. I don't like this at all. I can't put this on there. It just doesn't look right. It just looks way too off. I'm gonna have to think of another keycap set to put on this board. I really am gonna have to think of another keycap set to put on here. Give me some ideas, guys. Give me some keycap sets that might look good on this. Hopefully I don't have it on another board. Hopefully I've got it to hand, because that just doesn't look right. It just doesn't work. I can't put that on there. It's just gonna look awful. It's just gonna look terrible. Minimal, yeah, I could do minimal on it. I don't know if white looks. I don't have First Love. I can't put that on there. Black on white. I only have one set of black on white. I don't want to put that on there because it's on another board. Minimal, yeah, maybe. I don't have meterlets. No. White on black, maybe. I don't know. I'm really disappointed with this because I was hoping that this would match it, but. Of course, using these wasn't a great example compared to what I'm going to say in full. Okay. I don't think I have any board that this will look good on. Like, no board that it'll look good on. I don't have Toxic either. You guys are all picking the sets I don't have. GMK Mecha will look good on it, yes. That's the ultimate set for this board. But I do need to pick a set kind of now to try and put on it. Like white and black's at home, so I can't put white and black on there. I don't have violet and cream either. You guys are picking all of the sets that I don't own. Like I own a ton of sets, and you're picking the ones I don't own. I do have blanks I could put on there. I have waves. Should we try waves? I can do waves. That might work. No, I don't want to put this on here. Like the yellow on that set just won't work. That's Phantom, and like the yellow just doesn't work, and the purple's very different. Like the purple here is not the same as that purple. It's very, very different. Waves is a shout. Let me go get waves. Give me a second, guys. Let me go grab waves. Okay, guys, I've decided to grab a few sets because some of these might look good and some of these might. Let's have a look, guys. We'll find something in here. So we have Dual Shot. So if you guys haven't seen this, this is kind of like a grey set. This might look okay. The colourfulness of the box. What do you think, guys? That could look all right. That's option 1. I think that might go. No. Maybe not. Okay, let's put that one away. That's a no. I just grabbed everything that had come in the past couple of weeks. So it's a no to that one. Bingsu maybe. So we said purple key sets. Bingsu. This is probably going to be a no, but let's take a look anyway. See how it goes. No to Bingsu. I agree. Way off. Just thought we'd try it. Always worth a try. Yeah, it doesn't work. Again, I'm going to struggle for a board to put Bingsu on. As much as I love this set, I'm really going to struggle for a board to put that I don't have terminal. No, like you guys are picking all of the sets that I don't have. I do have black on white, but like the white on black set that I have is at home. I do have minimal here, but it's on another board, so I don't want to take it off. We also have Delta. This could work. I don't have First Love. Like, what do we think, guys? Could this work? I think the mint's going to look off. That's going to be the bit that looks off, is the mint. I don't buy every GMK set. I buy like 3 a month. Like the alphas, I think, and the alphas would go great. Like the alphas would work just fine with it. The alphas work fine. But you guys are right. The mods don't work. Again, it was just an idea. It was just something to try. Even if we don't use the accent keys and we just use the standard ones, I don't think it'll work. I do have Hyperfuse. Again, that's here, but it's on another board. I just don't want to take it off. I don't want to take anything off a board that I've already got on a board. Okay. We have Waves. This is the one that you guys said would work really well. I don't have Violet Tendencies either, Huey. You're picking all of the sets that I don't own. You think this is going to work? Do you guys think that actually works? Chrono says that's the one. I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure I agree. Let's not bad. Okay, well, let's go with it. Let's go with this then. Let's see how it looks when we're done. I'm going to use non-accented parts. I don't think the bright green will work. Or maybe it will. Maybe. Like, you guys are making me use a set I don't really like. I don't know. Oh well, let's go for it. Let's just go for it. Like, let's just guess. I don't have. There isn't a non-accented escape key. You have to use the accented escape key here. That's upsetting me. The bright green is the reason to use it. Yeah, but there's no non-accented escape key. Or not that I can see. I'll see if I can find one in a minute. I'm not happy with this key set on here either, guys. Like, looking at this, I'm really not happy with it. Like, do you guys really think that that looks good? Like, really? Do you think that looks alright with it? You think it does? I'm not so sure. I'm kind of not convinced. Like, really? I'm not happy with that, guys. Like, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Which means I'm going to have to play it safe and put the last set on here that I've brought out. It just doesn't work. It's too bright. It's too garish. So the last set I have brought out is 9s, and I think we're going to go with 9s on this. I think we're just going to go with 9s. That just doesn't work. Like, 9s is the closest I've got for a black on white or a white on black set to hand that's not on a board. So let's go with 9s. I think this is the first time I've ever even mounted Waves. I don't ever remember even mounting it before. Okay. Okay, 9s it is. Old GMK trays. Old GMK trays. Absolutely. I don't have lime either. Like, you guys are picking... Oh, no, in fact, I do have lime, actually. I do have GMK lime, actually. Yes, I do. Bless me. Yeah, I do have that. Again, that's already on a board, so it's not something I can use. I don't want to take something off another board to just get this one to work. I just need to wait for GMK Mecha 01, right? I just need to give it 6 months and wait for GMK Mecha 01 to arrive. Or or 10 months or however long it's going to be. But we're just going to have to go with 9s for now. And now this will work. This will look all right. Nines will do fine. Waves look so good. Yeah, I don't know. It just clashed too much with the board. Like, it didn't work with the board. You're not the whale I thought you were. Dude, like, I've got, like, I don't know, 80 GMK sets. I don't have every GMK set. I have laser. Yes, I have laser. That's on a polycarbonate canoe right now. Let me find the picture. I don't want to show you all my pictures, but I took a picture the other day for someone who asked what I'd got key set wise. Let me see if I can find a picture of it. So this is in my workshop, and that's all my keycap sets that I keep here. I have got some that I keep at home, so you can see that there's like loads and stuff here, trays and trays and trays and trays. If we zoom in, that's all got vintage trays in. There's all sorts of stuff in there. There's stuff in bags. There's some just up on the top here as well. This is just what I keep here at the warehouse. I've got some at home as well. And then there's stuff in jars and bags and stuff all around. So it's like I've got a fair amount. Not all of my boards have key sets on, no. I do have GMK Lime. I do have GMK Lime, yes. I don't know exactly how many key sets I've got. I haven't counted, but I've got quite a few. The Vaporwave, maybe Vaporwave would look alright. EPBT Royal Alpha, that could be a good shout actually, man. That could be a good shout. I've actually got both GMK and EPBT Royal Alpha. That might not have been a bad shout. I've actually got EPBT Royal Alpha on my Fjell at the moment, which is actually just behind me, so I could grab that. GMK Night Runner. I don't know if Night Runner would work with this. Like, I do have Night Runner, but I don't think it'd work with it. What are your thoughts on SA profile? I've been thinking of buying a max key set, but I don't want to spend $100 and find out I hate the profile. SA's alright. Like, it's not for me. I used to really enjoy using SA, and then I kind of grew away from it. And I haven't really used it for a long while. Yeah, I think Royal Alpha is probably the surprise suggestion of the night hearing. That's probably the best suggestion we haven't tried. Maybe I'll try that after the stream. Any EVA 01 matching artisans available? I actually have a couple that will coming in that will match really well. Yes. I still want the EVA 01 Kipora. I've still never managed to get it, but maybe we'll get lucky at some point. Okay, I have to work out which keys this set has for ISO. It has that and that. There we go. Is that what it has? Yeah, that's right. Profile. There we go. Look at that beautiful ISO enter key. I dig it. Man, nearly all my boards are ISO. You can see ISO, that's ISO. Most of the ones behind me are ISO. Most of the ones in my unit are ISO. Got a strange key between Z and Shift. Yeah, ISO has an extra key. If you're a gamer, there is no reason you shouldn't use split left shift. It gives you an extra key in that area. Like, that's really useful as a gamer. That's why all gamers should use ISO. It is the superior layout for gaming. But extra key, man. Extra key in that area. That switch has an issue. There is an issue with that switch. How did we miss this? Interesting. Okay, that switch has an issue with the spring. We're going to have to desolder that and fix that at some point. Interesting. This is where we find out we put these keys in the wrong places. And I need to desolder one and move it or something. Or do we get lucky and it's right? No, we get lucky and it's right. There we go. There goes Jay's game key. Yeah, there's an issue with the switch. Like, you press it and you can feel that it's like it's not depressing correctly. It's an easy fix. I'll change it after the stream. It'll be a 2-minute job. Okay, so I usually go print screen and then page up and then page down. If I can find the page down key and then FN for this row here. We find the FN key, there it is. There we go. Okay. Put the rest of these keys away. Yeah, like ISO makes sense for gamers. It gives you an extra key in that area because it's like big brain moves. Big brain moves. Okay, so this set we'll have to do for now. This is the EVA 01 Canoe wearing GMK 9s, and this will have to do for the foreseeable future until Mecha 01 comes in probably 8 or 9 months' time. But I'm pretty happy with that. I do need to put an LED in here. I have got some green ones on order. I don't have any coming, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Like, pretty happy with it. Definitely do love the EVA colorway though. Focus. Focus, please. Mecha is going to look really, really good. Infill with J. Yeah, I could infill the Canoe logo. I probably have got some green paint that will match this, so I could infill the Canoe logo just here. Let me zoom in so you guys can see it. So we have the Canoe logo just here. I could probably infill this with some paint that matches this. It's deep enough. It's definitely deep enough. Yeah, I don't see why we can't do that. Won't be today on stream, but I do have it available. I guess the next thing to do though, guys, is give you a bit of a typing test. Let's zoom out a little bit, but not all the way. Let's turn off the music and let's just see how the board sounds. Disclaimers first, I'm a terrible typist. Please don't point it out. Yeah, my typing is not great, but let's see how it sounds. Zoom in a little bit more, actually. There we go. And let's see how this sounds. GMK 9s is a sleeper set, yeah, absolutely. Turn the fan off so you guys can't hear that. Spacebar's loud and clacky. Not rattly, just clacky. It does sound like it's a thick plate, yeah. There is no movement in this whatsoever. This is a rock solid board. Like, there's no movement when typing. This is rock solid. If you like that, it's good. If you don't, maybe it's not. But let's see how it sounds. okay, nice. So the spacebar sounds hollow. The rest of the board doesn't. It's just the spacebar. So I think to fix the spacebar, I'm just going to put a little bit of foam underneath it, try and squeeze some in between the PCB and plate. The rest of the board doesn't sound hollow at all. If the microphone's picking something up, it might just be the room. Definitely doesn't sound hollow here. Infinity blacklight might go with it. Yeah, it might do. Yeah. Up to people if they want to buy that. What's the actual keystroke of that extra key by default? So it depends on your layout. So that key for ISO layout, it depends. In UK ISO, it's actually pipe / that's there. So you can see that on the other keyboard I have here. Hold up. So you can see that on this keyboard, and it gives you pipe /. So this is a full UK ISO layout. It gives you pipe / there, and then you have #tilde here, as well as your apostrophe, and then the 2 becomes 2 and quote mark. So slightly different from ANSI layout, where you'd have the 2 as the @ symbol, and you'd have your quote marks down here. But this layout is more terminal ISO, where you have your pipe / moved to here, and then this becomes like your terminal key. So yeah. So there we go. Either way, guys, what do you think of this board? What do you think? I think it looks great. I think the styling is on point, especially on the sides. I really, really like the side profile. Like, genuinely think that looks good. Definitely needs Mecha 01. In fact, we haven't tested the keyboard either. Let's test the keyboard now before we run out of time. So get this all plugged in and make sure it lights up and works. Oh, there we go. There's the underglow going. Let's see if we can get switch hitter up. Let's put the music back on, and let's get switch hitter up. Okay. Okay, so you guys should be able to see switch hitter. Let's see what we've got working. Okay, everything's working there. All those keys work. Everything working there. Caps lock. ISO keys might not work. Let's see. Oh, it does. It works. That one does work. That switch definitely needs replacing. There's definitely an issue with that switch. Okay, and I assume that this is as FN. No. Okay, so that key's not working. Could just be the key map. We'll fix it off stream. Everything else looks like it's working just fine. 7 out of 10 average. Pricing if it's considered. 5 out of 10. Color 10 out of 10. That's fair. Please no benderino the cable. The cable's not bent, it's alright. The cable's fine. I love this mid piece, sucker for it. Yeah, I really like the mid piece, like it just looks good. And I do like these two here. I was speculating historically that they might have been buttons, but they're just affectations. Like they're just nice little affectations. They're literally there for no reason other than to look good, which I think they do really well. So, not too keen on the underglowiness of this. Like, I don't know if you guys can see, but it's glowing pretty much with colours. Don't like that. I need to turn it off. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with it. Okay. So, guys, if you've got any questions, now's the time to ask them. We are approaching the end of the stream. I'm probably only going to be here for another 3 or 4 minutes, and then I'm going to head off, change that switch, because I do have another board to desolder for a friend. So I'm going to desolder that board, desolder that switch, and replace it. And yeah, and then I'll be back this week on Top Clack on Thursday, maybe with a guest with Brian. We'll see. How's the USB cut out? It's pretty neat and tidy actually. Look at that. If it focuses, come on, please focus, camera, please. There you go. It's pretty neat and tidy. That's not a scratch. That's just dirt. Yeah, it looks pretty good. No J-scores. No, we don't do the J-score anymore. It's not really fair for me to do J-score. We are going to do a community score at some point in the near future. We're going to bring that back, and both Brian and I will be doing different community scores for things. Going to host KeyCon. I haven't been asked to, but if I get asked to do, I might do. Mine should be here tomorrow. Nice, man. Nice. Yeah, the J-score was really fun. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. It's going to come back as the community scores, and Brian's going to be doing it as well then as well, so it'll be much more fun. How would you go about reducing the sound of the spacebar again? Foam between the paint and the PCB, or foam directly in the spacebar? So what I'll do is I will probably put foam between the plate and the PCB. Spacebars always sound louder than any other key because of the size of them. The other thing I have experimented with is putting silicone on the inside of the spacebar. That does tend to work really, really well, but it can get quite messy, so you just have to be quite careful with it. So yeah, I'll try putting some foam in between the plate and the PCB, see if that helps. But a thick plate like this, your spacebar is always going to sound very poppy and quite loud. Like, that's just going to be the way it is. Like, that's just part and parcel of that type of build. PC parts, yes, I do have the PC parts for this coming, which is a PC mid part and plate and a few other bits and pieces as well. So yeah, I'll be showing that off when that arrives in the near future. Yes, so if you do put silicone on the inside, you do need to add a heavy spring on the switch as well, yeah, to make sure it returns properly, otherwise it won't return. But it's always going to be poppy on a thick plate like this. That's just the way it is. Cool. Okay then, guys. I'm gonna head out now. I'm gonna go home because it's like 10:30. I've got a couple of calls to make first, so I'm gonna make a couple of calls and then I'm gonna go home. Hopefully, I'll be home within the hour because it's about half an hour. Well, it's about 5 minutes drive from here home, but yeah, I need to get off and sort that out. Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of clearance between PCB and plate. Putting something in the spacebar seems like the thing to go. There is a little bit, so we'll fit something in there, but we'll see. Thanks very much, King Nesty, for joining. Really good to see you, my dude, and hopefully we can catch up at the next meetup more than we did at the Leeds one, because I saw you there and we spoke for about 2 seconds, so I'm really sorry, dude, but we will catch up better next time. And thanks very much, folks. I'll see you all again soon. Take care, have fun, and don't get into too much trouble. See you later, guys.